Hello, my name's Charlene Douglas. I'm a relationship therapist and I've been working with Fittleworth and the Connections Relationship Programme to help couples to communicate as they navigate their stoma journey. Hi Stu.
Hi Charlene.
So nice to meet you.
You too.
So I've spoken to Rachel about her journey. So I'd be really keen to hear your story. You know, what was that journey like for you when you first heard that Rachel had a stoma?
It was one of those kind of voyages of discovery. Rachel's diagnosis led to the stoma. So we dealt with complex issues, first of all, with the cancer diagnosis. And then the stoma was almost a celebration of that. It meant that the cancer was gone. So in one way we could look forward, but that then brought on new challenges. I wanted to make sure that Rach could cope with a stoma. That was a big feeling for me. I wanted to make sure that I offered support for Rach during that time, although I was also thinking, crikey, what do we do? You know, I've got my own fears around it. Would I be able to get close to Rach again? You know, would she want me to? Would I be able to have physical contact with her? Would it be painful? Would there be things that she would feel uncomfortable about, especially if the stoma was full and the bag was full? You know, how would we deal with that moment? Would it lead to awkwardness? And I think then there was a fear that we might pull apart from each other.
And in terms of communicating with each other, was that quite an easy process for the two of you?
It was, because what we had was a name for the stoma. So it is known as Maganda, which translates to beautiful in Filipino. It was actually a nurse at Worthing Hospital that named it for us. So we use Maganda as that middle kind of person, that middle ground, which makes conversations a lot easier. We got used to having Maganda with us, and I learnt to just go, is that too quick? Are we too soon? How do you want me to hold you? You know, is there a better way to hold you if you're not comfortable or uncomfortable? Trial and error, I guess, through a lot of it, but and some laughs, actually. You know, suddenly you realise you're pressing on something and it might make a noise or it may do something, and then, you know, we could blame Maganda. But there are times where we don't talk about it at all as well, and that is, I think that's a good thing. I think that's when you become more familiar with it and it becomes more natural. I think if you're always talking about it, there may be a problem there. That's probably our view. But I guess now we're learning to live with Maganda. She comes up less often in the conversation. So I think we're probably getting there. But it is a journey. It's not something you can expect to happen really quickly.
What I've heard you say a few times there is the importance of protecting her and making sure she's safe, which I suppose is well, I don't suppose it is such a beautiful thing, and it shows the love you have for one another. But is there space then for you to really think about and process your own emotions around this?
It's difficult. There isn't anyone that I can talk to necessarily about it because it is very personal to Rach, and that becomes very personal to me. So I don't have a peer group that I would feel comfortable discussing it with. And I've not found an online forum or anything that supports partners. It can be lonely because, you know, there is something there that could potentially pull you apart. And I think, you just have to keep checking in with each other.
What sort of advice would you give someone who's starting on a stoma journey? I suppose from the person who has a stoma, but also a partner as well.
I think realise that there will be, right at the start, obviously it's a challenging operation to undertake anyway, so there's a lot of time needed to repair, to just be comfortable. So as a partner, don't rush. I just learnt to live at Rachel's pace, and that was absolutely fine by me. It was more important to see her recover, become well, being able to deal with it. It's a big thing, changing a stoma bag for the first and second time when you do it on your own. So knowing that I was close to her while she was doing that, it's strange actually, Charlene. You know, in some ways you can feel disconnected, but in some ways you can feel even more connected because it's such a personal journey. There's only two of you that can take that. And I think that, if anything, it's brought us together even more.
That's really lovely to hear. It's been so lovely speaking with you today, Stu, and I really wish both yourself and Rachel the very best on this journey.
Thanks, Charlene. Thank you.
For more information on Fittleworth's relationship programme or support services, specially created for ostomates, please visit fittleworth.com. If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in this video, please get in touch with either your GP or Stoma nurse, who will help you to access the resources and support that you need.